Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm so excited to do a first impressions review and makeup tutorial. I don't typically do these types of videos, you guys know that, but when I got this PR package, I was so excited because I'm a huge Selena Gomez fan, and we're going to be talking about Rare Beauty. I just got the mail last night and I could not wait to wake up and actually film this. So I'm filming this like literally the next day. So I'm so excited to try all of her products with you guys for the very first time, give you guys my honest feedback, my honest thoughts. There are products that I love, there are products that I'm not so impressed with. So we're gonna dive in, talk about it, put it on, chat, hang out. So let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe to my channel before you head out. So before we get started, I do want to say that overall I was really impressed with the presentation, the fact that these are all custom kind of molds, custom packaging, just very fresh and fun to kind of play with. So besides the beautiful packaging, I love the messaging of the brand. So they started a fund called Rare Impact Fund, and I have this little thing that they said, so I'm just going to read a little bit about it. But basically it's a mental health fund, and their goal is to donate 100 million over the next 10 years to help increase access to mental health services with a focus on undeserved communities. I think that that's so beautiful, and the fact that Selena Gomez has been open about talking about mental health and just bringing awareness to it, I think is so beautiful. So I thought that was really nice. So yeah, with that said, let's get into the video. I'm going to start with the primer, and this packaging is so cute. I mean, I kind of already talked about the packaging being super cute, but I love how compact this is. I just really love the size of this. So my brushes are currently very dirty, so I only have a handful of clean brushes that I'm working with. So I'm just going to use this fluffy one to apply the primer, and the only reason why I'm not using my hands is because I just put a hand cream on and I don't want to break out any more than I have. Wow, it just totally gives the skin a nice glow. Maybe I should have avoided the larger pores area, but let's just see where it takes us. I also put just a tiny bit of concealer before I started filming on this bad boy because, you guys, it was so bad. It was one of those really painful ones. Okay, so first impressions on this is, so far I really like it. I love the way that it just gives the skin a nice luminous glow. I feel like if I had perfect skin, no imperfections, I would totally wear this just on my bare skin and put a little bronzer on and be done with it. So far I like it. I will give you guys my final thoughts on each product at the end of the video, whether I recommend it or not. Sometimes I like to have the product sit on the skin a little bit longer. Moving on to the foundation, so I got 3 shades. I really appreciate that they didn't send the entire collection, just because some brands do that, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do with 42 shades of foundation? So I really appreciate the fact that they kind of did research, looked at my videos, looked at my photos, and sent what they thought would be a good fit, and actually they did a pretty good job because I was like really impressed. So I think my shade is going to be 190W, but I also have a slightly darker shade, 270N, that I might mix a tiny bit just to make sure that it's perfect. So this comes with like a doe foot applicator, just like the Tarte concealer. I guess this kind of just totally reminds me of the Tarte concealer, or even the Too Faced concealer. So I kind of like that because you can just apply this directly on your skin and then blend it in place. So let's see if this shade is gonna work for me. So, okay, this looks a little bit too light. So I think what I'm gonna do is blend it in to see first. So I'm using the brush to blend it in. I didn't get a chance to wash this. Usually with new brushes, I do like to wash it before I use it. But since I put the primer on, I feel a little bit better about using it without washing it. Okay, so this shade is slightly lighter for me, but what I'm gonna do is darken it with the darker shade on the areas where I feel like I need a little bit of color. Wow, I feel like it really blends beautifully. Like I didn't really have to do too much work. It's definitely going on sort of matte, even though I have that sort of luminous glowy primer underneath it. I am seeing just a little bit of dryness and like kind of patchiness around this area, and I'm just wondering if it's because my skin is just super dry. I usually don't like matte foundations on me. So this came with the package, which is really nice because it kind of gives you all of the info. I'm gonna read about the product and give you guys prices as well. So the foundation is a Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation and it's $29. It says a foundation elixir that feels barely there while building coverage and boosting your natural glow, available in 48 shades, which is incredible. It says shake well before use. I did not shake mine very well, so I wonder if that's why I'm getting a little bit of dryness here. Let's give it another try on this side. It also came with a sponge, so I'm just gonna kind of go over it with the sponge and see how I like that. So again, my skin is quite dry, and so I feel like this formula just settles in between the pores or like the fine lines, and it's just looking a little dry on my skin, but I don't want to be too critical. So we'll judge it at the end and see kind of how it wears throughout the video. But so far, I mean, I really like the coverage. I love very light and natural coverage, but you know, I also want it to be very hydrating on the skin. And so let's see if it settles into my skin a little bit better throughout the video. Kind of wish I tried the primer only on one side, because what if it's the primer, you know? Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the darker shade, and I'm just gonna apply this wherever I would typically bronze and contour. Wow, that's so pretty. For the concealer, I've got two shades here, 210N and 190W. So I'm gonna apply the 190W and see kind of where that takes us. I do really like the sponge. I feel like it's super soft, squishy, and it kind of just makes everything easier to blend. So it's a very, very light sheer concealer, but let's see if it's buildable. I'm gonna go in with the darker shade and just apply a little bit below that. This time I'm gonna use the concealer brush to blend it in place. There's no powder, so I'm just gonna use my powder to set my under eyes. I always set my under eyes, otherwise it just creases. So I'm just gonna use my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm gonna use their sponge to actually set it. The texture of this sponge is so different. It's actually refreshing to have something different, because I feel like a lot of the sponges in the market is pretty much like a dupe of the original Beauty Blender, and I feel like this one is not. The texture is so interesting. I do feel like I need a little bit of bronzer, so I'm just gonna quickly put that on and then we'll move on to the blushes. A little bit about the concealer. It's $19, it comes in 48 shades, and it says that it's a very moisturizing and buildable formula. So I would say that it was definitely very lightweight and very sheer. It was buildable because I was able to build on it. In terms of moisture, I just feel like overall the concealer and the foundation just looks a little bit dry on my skin, even though I used the primer that they sent. I'm gonna use these products without the primer and see how I like it, so stay tuned in future videos. I'll definitely keep you guys posted, but let's just see how this wears throughout the video as well. Moving on to the blushes, I think these are so adorable. Love the packaging. I love the idea of a liquid blush. It kind of just reminds me of the Glossier blushes, and I think that that's really cool. I'm gonna go in with the shade Bliss and then just directly apply it on the apples of my cheeks. I'm actually gonna use the sponge to blend it in. A little bit about the blush. It's called the Soft Peach Liquid Blush. It retails for $20. A long-lasting blush that blends and builds beautifully for a soft, healthy flush, available in 8 shades. First impression, I actually really like this. I think the formula is beautiful. Even though I'm not obsessed with my base, I feel like the color and the blending was just absolutely perfect. I would definitely use this again. I can't wait to try all the other shades that they sent. So let's move on to the highlighter. So the highlighter comes in a very similar packaging. It's a little bit bigger than the blush. And again, everything comes with this applicator, which is really nice because you could just directly apply it on the skin. So I'm just gonna apply it and then blend it with the side of the sponge. It's very sheer and just very natural. So I'm gonna build on that just a little bit. And the shade that I'm using is Outshine. I'm gonna use the highlight side of the Persona brush, and I know it's a little dirty on one side, but it actually is like a stain, so I think we'll be fine. Okay, so I think that it works a little bit better with a brush because I feel like the sponge kind of just soaks it in. The highlighter is called Positive Light Liquid Illuminizer and it's $22. It's a silky second skin liquid highlighter that creates a lasting, soft, luminous finish, available in 8 shades. My thoughts on the highlighter is that it's beautiful. It's very lightweight. It's very natural on the skin. I'm all about that skin-like glow these days. So I definitely like it. It is very natural. So if you want a little more intensity, I would probably go with like a cream formula. But I think this is just beautiful for every day. I will say that it blends much better with a brush rather than the sponge. And I wouldn't go with like a dense brush. I would go with more of a fluffy brush. I'm gonna move on to the brows. They do have a brow product. It's a dual-ended brow product that I'm gonna go ahead and use. One side is a pencil and the other side is a gel. So I'm gonna use the pencil side to fill in my brows first. And I recently got my brows laminated, so that's why they're looking really full and fluffy. Usually they don't look like this. This is definitely really dark for me, so the shade is not quite right, but I'm sure they have multiple shades, so let's read about it. So the Brow Harmony pencil and gel is $22. It comes in 8 shades. I definitely need a lighter shade because this is way too dark, so I think I'm just gonna stop filling them in. I'm gonna use the gel side on this eye, and I'm actually not gonna use the pencil just because it is quite dark. Maybe fill in just a little bit here. I like the idea of the pencil and the gel kind of being in one. I think it would have been better if it was my shade in terms of like my review, but I think in terms of the formula and what it does, it's a pretty good product, so I'll leave it at that. So there's nothing for the eyes except for a liquid liner, so I'm gonna go ahead and use just a brown shade on my crease because I do have a heavy fold, so I just absolutely have to do that. So I'm just gonna use what I typically use, which is Charming from the Identity palette, and I'm just gonna apply this on my crease. This is just gonna lift my eye a little bit and really get rid of that heavy fold. It's a matte liquid liner. It's $19 and it says that it's a long-wearing waterproof liquid liner formulated with ultra black pigments for the most dramatic definition every time. Okay, first impressions on the liquid liner is amazing. I mean, it just was so easy to apply this. I mean, it took me literally one try. I didn't mess up or anything like that. I mean, it's not totally perfect, but that is my bad. With any liquid liner, I like to apply it and then use a pencil brush with a velvety matte black and then kind of just go over it. So I'm using Limitless from the Identity 2 palette. It's just a matte black, so you can use any black and kind of perfect that liner. I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. I'll be right back. Moving on to the lips. So she has 2 different categories. She has a lip balm that's tinted for $16 and the packaging is so cute. It comes in 8 different shades. I have 3 of them here. So it looks beautiful. I think I'm just gonna throw this on right now just to see what it looks like. Oh, it's so pretty. This feels so nice. It's very, very hydrating. I didn't do a good job applying it because I actually want to apply the liquid matte, but it feels really nice on the lips. It's very hydrating, soft, lightweight. It's not like thick or anything, so it's really nice. But I'm here for the matte lip cream. So these are $20 and it comes in 12 different shades. It's a whipped lip cream that delivers comfortable one-stroke color with a vivid, velvety finish. She has so many beautiful shades, but I think I'm gonna go in with this orange one, which is what I think they put on her for their campaign photos. So I just think the color is stunning. I feel like I need a little more blush, but other than that, I think the look is almost done. I'm gonna finish the video by using her Always an Optimist 4-in-1 mist. This retails for $24 and it's a glow boosting mist that hydrates, primes, sets, and refreshes the skin. That smells so good. The last thing I didn't talk about is this compact, which I think is really cool. I kind of wish it was a little more compact because it is quite large. It's just a cute little kit. I think it's nice to throw in the bag if you're on the go and you need something to always keep the shine away. Okay, now on to my thoughts. So again, I think the mission of this brand is awesome. The presentation, all of that, like A+, love it. I would 100% support it. So in terms of formula, we're gonna get into like the formula and actual, you know, how it feels on the skin, how it looks on the skin. We're gonna start with the primer. I really like the primer on my bare skin. Like I would totally wear that primer on its own, put my concealer, bronzer, and just walk out the door. I thought that it was beautiful. So I do recommend the primer. So the foundation was tricky because overall, when you look at my skin, it looks really nice. It looks very natural. I love the amount of coverage, love the feel of the foundation. It's very lightweight, just beautiful in that sense. But for some reason on my skin, and I do have dry skin, it did settle in between just lines and larger pores, and it just looks like it's sitting on top of my skin. And to be 100% transparent and honest, I don't love the foundation. I am gonna try it again without the primer because I'm thinking that it could also be that the primer and the foundation don't work very well together for my skin type. So what I'm gonna do is try the foundation with my usual primers and see how I like it. So definitely stay tuned, and I will keep you guys posted whether it's on Instagram stories or in future makeup videos. But yeah, I mean, because I just love the way it looks from far away, but if I get close, you can really see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it's really settling around this area. Again, the foundation just feels like it's sitting on top of my skin. It's like just not the best for my skin type. So again, stay tuned and I will keep you guys posted in the future if I like it better with different primers and moisturizers. But for now, I just don't love the way it looks on my skin. So in terms of the concealer, I kind of have the same thoughts on the concealer. For my skin type, it didn't quite work. It's very dry. It settles underneath the eye and it feels like it's sitting on top of my skin. So unfortunately, not a huge fan of the concealer. However, I am gonna again use it with my typical primers, moisturizers, and see how I like it. I'm not sure if it's the formula or if it's just the combination of the primer and the concealer not working together. All right, my thoughts on the blush is pretty good. I like it a lot. I love the concept. I love that it's almost like a liquid to cream. The formula is very unique in that sense. It's like kind of foamy. And I do love that it comes with an applicator. Sometimes I feel like with liquid blushes, sometimes you just squeeze it out and you get way too much or way too little. So this is nice that it's nice and controlled because it comes with an applicator. So I would say give this a try. I'm gonna give it a try, of course, with my typical foundations, and I love the colors as well. So yes, definitely recommend this. In terms of the highlighter, I think if you're into liquid highlighters, you would like this. This is just a really beautiful natural finish. Looks very luminous on the skin. Personally, I'm more of a cream to powder highlighter. Like I like my cream highlighters and then I like my powder highlighters. Liquids for some reason are a little bit harder to control and a little bit messier. This one wasn't very messy or anything. I think it was easy to work with, but again, if I were to purchase it, I would probably go for a cream formula. But overall, if you are into liquids, I think this is a good one. The brow product I thought was pretty good. The color was off, as you can tell. This is quite dark. So I would like to try my shade, but overall I thought the product was pretty cool. The concept's cool as well. You get a pencil and you get a gel all in one. The liquid liner is probably one of my favorite products from the collection just because it was so easy to glide it on my eyes. I'm not a liquid liner person, you guys know that, and so I thought this was so easy to use. So if you're a beginner and you're just diving into liquid liners, I would say this is a good one for beginners. So I love this and I would definitely recommend it. Let's talk about the brushes quickly. I thought they were really good. I mean, I love how soft but dense the foundation brush was, very easy to use. And I really like the concealer brush as well. It's very controlled. So this would be good for pinpoint concealing. So definitely like the brushes. I thought the sponge was really cool. Overall, it's very different from a lot of sponges on the market. So I definitely appreciate that. I like that it has so many different angles and parts that you can use. It's big enough. I do like the versatility. Moving on to the lips. Overall, I thought both of the lip products were beautiful. The formula was great. I thought the lip balm was really nice. It has a sheer tint to it, but it's buildable, very comfortable on the lips. So I would say this is a really good option if you want a hydrating lip product with a little bit of color. And then the liquid matte I thought was really beautiful too. It's kind of like that foamy, creamy formula, very, very comfortable on the lips. As you can see, it's matte, but definitely not dry or like cakey on the lips. It's just very, very comfortable. It is not like the most pigmented lip product, which I actually like. I'm not a huge fan of super pigmented products because then you kind of can't build it up and you can't really control it as much. Whereas with this, you can build it up, control it, and I kind of like the sheerness and that foaminess a little bit. So I personally like it, but that's the kind of formula it is. It is very foamy. So the mist was pretty nice. It smells really nice. So if you're into really hydrating mists, this is a good one. I mean, there was nothing that I didn't like about it. It smelled nice, it was hydrating, it felt really nice on the skin. So lastly, the compact sort of kit. I like the concept, but I feel like it's not that compact. It's pretty bulky and big. For someone like me who likes really tiny bags, like this will pretty much take up most of my bags. So if you're looking for something like this and if your bags are a little bit bigger, then yeah, I think that is cool. The concept's cool. But for me personally, I probably wouldn't use this. I wouldn't throw it in a bag. I mean, I'd rather fit my phone in there or something like that. However, this little guy comes out. So if I wanted something to blot the shine away throughout the day, I would just take this with me and call it a day. So I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just one of those things that I personally wouldn't use. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything you want to try from the collection. I'll be in the comment section hanging out with you guys. So drop a comment for me down there. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more review, first impressions type videos, also let me know. Give this video a thumbs up because again, I don't do them often, but if it's something of interest, then maybe I can bring it back and chat about new product, give you guys my honest review and honest thoughts. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell on your way out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.